Hey guys, it's Simon. This is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw from Seattle, Washington, and I thought it was a pretty good crowd on a pretty good show. We had a couple very good talking segments, a few good matches, so overall, I enjoyed tonight's Monday Night Raw, and when CM Punk came out for that final segment, I go, there's no way this is the end. This show went by too quickly, and then I'm like, oh, okay, it's 9 o'clock, 30 minutes left in the show. Could this be the last thing? And they dragged it out, but they dragged it out in a good way because it was good. Usos came out. Jey Uso, when you can tell he's like the kind, like when we get, I don't want to say unhinged Jey Uso, because that's probably the wrong word.
Jey Uso.
Yeah, like pissed off, can't control his emotions. I guess that's almost unhinged, but like pissed off, can't control his emotions, Jey Uso, and not heel or anything. I think that's one of the best versions of Jey, when he's just like in his brain knows, hey, I got to do the right thing here, but I'm pissed off and this person did the wrong thing and said the wrong thing, but maybe what I'm about to do is wrong. So yeah, no. The Usos were great. Punk was great. I said it on Twitter. I'll say it again here. I've actually enjoyed, I know a lot of people said it's been kind of lackluster. I've enjoyed what we've gotten so far building up CM Punk and Roman Reigns, even tonight without Roman Reigns there. But we've also got Luke over here with us, talking Monday Night Raw. Luke, how you been this last week?
I've been good. So I mainly just kind of been like, I've been thinking about like me going to SmackDown and Stand and Deliver like back-to-back days. I don't think I've ever.
You're going to both?
I don't think I've ever done that. Yeah, I'm going to both.
Oh, you only told me Stand and Deliver.
Oh yeah, I'm going to both.
Nice. I'm
like
tempted to go to a Raw soon because they're coming here for, I think it's a SmackDown.
Yeah, so basically, where Stand and Deliver is going to be at, it's going to be in the same building where it was whenever they were originally in St. Louis when they came to the CW network. It's in that building.
Okay.
And what's cool about this building, like there's a bar inside, so you can like watch wrestling while getting a drink.
That's cool.
So like so I got a table for two, so you can get like, it includes like 2 tickets, so it's like you sit at a table and watch wrestling, and it's like I think it's near the bar as well, so it's pretty good seats.
Okay, hold on, I want to bring this up really fast.
Go for it.
Pull this up on the screen. Hopefully my camera works here. I haven't actually set this up right. Okay, that's good enough. So they got new graphics for WrestleMania. So here, I'll pull up the original WrestleMania graphics first. Hold on, before I switch screens. WrestleMania Punk versus Reigns graphic. This is weird. This one. Open image. So this image here was the original graphic that they showed for the first match announced for WrestleMania, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Then when they announced Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton last Friday after Cody won the title back, they showed a new style graphic that kind of reminded me of like Fallout New Vegas, right? So we got this one. WrestleMania, and they've already confirmed it because it says WrestleMania Saturday, and this is the graphic for WrestleMania Saturday. So I'm assuming this is the Saturday main event, even though the graphic says Saturday, Sunday. I'm assuming since on WWE's website, it is the WrestleMania Saturday graphic, this is going to be the Saturday main event. Anyways, they have this one where it's like Fallout New Vegas style. I'm like, okay, I'm not the biggest fan of this. Someone said, oh, people can't just like stuff. And I'm like, whoa, I can't have an opinion. This is my opinion. I don't like it for where we're going. I actually really like the simplicity of this one, where it's like the logo is graffiti style, so this is all graffiti style, right? So we have this, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But what the hell is this? What is this futuristic looking shit?
Yeah, I don't like that one.
What is this? I don't like this at all. But when they showed the graphic on Raw tonight and the animated graphic, it was Fallout New Vegas style. But then this is on their website. I don't know what this is. I don't know what the heck this is. This is weird. It's a futuristic cyber, not even cyberpunk, it's just cyber. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. Chat, what do you think? For some reason, I don't have the chat loading. Chat, what do you think of these? You like OG WrestleMania 42 graphics? Fallout New Vegas style WrestleMania 42 graphics? Like, I get it. Fallout New Vegas is cool. It's not a bad style. I'm just not the biggest fan of it for this. But then you have this one. This like cyber internet. I don't even know. Anyways. Let's go back over here to the live chat. Yeah, no, May 1st, they have a SmackDown coming to Tulsa. I'm like, ooh, do I go? Also, we have a random on March 27th. If I want to drive 2 hours to Oklahoma City, I can go see a NXT live event. There's a random NXT live event in Oklahoma City.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard those live events are actually kind of fun.
But I'm like, I'm good. I'm probably going to Dallas this weekend to go watch IndyCars race around the Cowboy Stadium.
How far of a drive is that?
It's only 4 hours. It's nothing. I used to do that all the time back in California going to LA. 4 hour drive is nothing. It's a super easy drive too.
Oh, that's nice.
I can probably do it quicker, but I do the Google Maps of avoid all tolls, so I don't have to pay for tolls.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Texas got a lot of those. Actually, at least North Texas does. Because I lived in Central Texas, we really didn't have much, if any. But anyways, yeah. So I might go to the May 1st SmackDown. Not sure yet. Probably, though. Good chance. Especially since I get off work early on Fridays. So that's an even easier day for me to go than on Monday. So anyways, yeah. Raw was pretty good. I'm just looking here. We got some. We'll get to these in a second. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. First, you can subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games. Excuse me, try not to burp into the mic. I just lost my train of thought trying not to burp. Anyways, you guys can get a lot of cool things with Prime Gaming, but you also get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you can help us out over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live, when we post new videos, and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember that you can hit the join button and become a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat, and access to our graphics packages. What I'm going to start doing is I want to do more graphics tutorials. Those have actually gotten good traction in the past, and some reason people are rewatching them now, and I'm getting new comments on those. People going, we need more of this. So what I'm going to start doing, hopefully I could do it regularly. I'm not sure how regular though. I'm going to do more, wrestling match graphic stuff. And then I will put out the tutorial for everybody. And then for a few bucks as a channel member, you can actually get access, or a Patreon subscriber, you can get access to the actual files. So if you want to actually see my file breakdown of everything and not just watch me make it and then try to recreate it off the video, you can go from there. So I'll give you not just my Photoshop file or my After Effects file, but you get all the assets that I used as well. So you guys will have that. So hopefully, and I think the first one I'm going to do here probably this week will be my WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, my, maybe I do last year's WrestleMania because I had some cool ones for last year's Mania. I don't know. Well, I'll do my 2026 Royal Rumble graphics because that's a super simple, easy one we could knock out in a quick tutorial. So something cool for you guys to look forward to. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Heck, maybe I do a tutorial just teaching you guys how to make that graphic, as I'm using a similar one for our graphics this year for WrestleMania. I don't know. We'll see. It's actually a really easy one to make in Photoshop and then animate in After Effects. Also, remember, You head over to the Epic Game Store and help us out over there. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game and you're claiming a free game, or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. I haven't seen when the new season drops. They're teasing all kinds of stuff for it. The 7's back for Fortnite, but Looney Tunes is supposed to be in the new season, at least Bugs Bunny. I don't know. I've read Bugs and Daffy, but I don't know if they're both in the Battle Pass, but they're both coming to Fortnite, so that should be kind of cool. With all of that, Luke, go for it.
Sorry, before we do get into it, I think we have some bit donations here.
Yes, I was going to get to that in a second, but I had a question for you.
What's up?
Did you see AEW kind of, sort of, half launched a streaming platform service thing today?
I saw the announcement, but I haven't read the details about it.
So I'm going to pull this up from a press release that I got this morning from All Elite Wrestling. All Elite Wrestling has a new 24/7 streaming platform in conjunction with, I want to say, Kisui. I'm going to probably say that wrong, but a press release does read as followed. And actually, I'm going to pull this up on the screen so you guys can actually see what it looks like as well. If you go to myaew.com, you will see this, and we'll pull this up on the screen really fast so you guys can see it as well. As I read the press release, it reads follow. Kisui, the global leader in streaming technology and services, and All Elite Wrestling AEW, one of the most dynamic brands in professional wrestling today, announced the global launch of My AEW, a new digital platform for All Elite Wrestling. Powered by Kisui, the platform gives fans immersive access to live, on-demand events outside the United States and Canada. A dedicated fast channel with ad-supported viewing available to fans globally, and more exciting features to come in the near future. The MyAEW.com platform is designed to bring the global AEW fan base an immersive digital experience, connecting fans with the best in-ring action, behind-the-scenes moments, and exclusive digital content, laying the foundation to become the central hub for all fans of professional wrestling. Now, so far today, I've just seen, they've been just airing basically a bunch of episodes of Dynamite. They have the Watch AEW page here, and they're just airing a bunch of episodes of Dynamite where it doesn't even look like they're in order, because we have season 1 episode 11, season 1 episode 12, and then instead of season 1 episode 13, it goes to season 2 episode 13. I don't know if that is in order or not. I don't know. That's kind of weird, because it's 13, 14, 15, 16, you think they're going in order. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. But then also, which this is actually something cool, it says the AEW Podcast Network coming soon. Right now, we know they have the AEW Unrestricted podcast, and then they do a podcast. It's Evil Uno and Adam Cole have a gaming podcast for AEW games. So I don't know if both of those will be on here in conjunction with them being on YouTube, and what other possible podcasts we could be getting. And then there's just other things like, hey, buy some merch and thank you for coming here. So yeah, I know they also said outside of the United States this is where fans will be able to, outside of the US and Canada, this is going to be a place where fans can buy pay-per-views. And for US and Canada fans, you just got the live stream so far, the live channel where it's just going through all the Dynamites. So cool, I guess, if you're a big AEW fan, you want to go back and watch everything, but it's just the live channel. So it's not like on-demand stuff, at least not for this. So it's not all on demand where you can just go back and find whichever you want to see. Now, granted, I haven't signed in and signed up. Maybe there is more, but from what I've seen today, this is all there is. But then you can go in for the podcast and find whichever one you want of what they have uploaded so far. So, kind of cool. What do you think, Luke?
I think it's all right. I mean, doesn't Renee Paquette have a podcast on AEW?
They have something. It's called Meal in a Match, where they eat food and talk about a match or something. I've never watched it. It's actually not through AEW. It's more with TNT and TBS, though, like a Warner property thing, I believe.
I think the Young Bucks had something like that. They had it was on the road, something.
No, so they had Being the Elite, and then for a while, Matt Jackson and his wife did travel vlogs. That might be what you were thinking.
No, I'm saying when it comes like the meal talk thing. I'm pretty sure the Young Bucks had a thing on YouTube where they would bring in someone and they would order a bunch of food in a hotel room. They would just like talk.
Oh, that I don't know. I know I've seen them do that on BTE, so I don't know if it was just a BTE segment or what, but yeah, that I never saw. But kind of cool. I probably would never check it out. But because I mean, I think you can go to HBO Max and find all episodes of Dynamite. I think.
Yeah.
Actually, let's go check really fast. HBO Max. HBO Max. Sports properties. AEW. I don't see. Let's see. See where I can watch it live coming up. AEW. Oh, here we go. AEW. Ooh, they have a show called AEW Archives. That's interesting. Or is that where you find the Dynamites? Oh, this is where you find the Dynamites, I think, but they're not Dynamites in. Nope, this isn't. This is different. Is this? I think they just started. Oh, okay. This is where, yeah, it's under. So if you want to find all the old Dynamites and Collisions and stuff, it's under AEW Archives. And then if you go to special events, that's where you'll find like the Fighter Fest, the Fight for the Fallen, the Battle of the Belts, all the pay-per-views and stuff. So you can go back and just watch them all on HBO Max if you have HBO Max. But if you don't, and you're like, say, because I'll do this sometimes, say you're going to bed, but you need some sort of background noise. You're not going to fully pay attention, but you need some background noise. Put this on. Put this AEW thing on in the background. I'll do that sometimes. I'll go to WWE's YouTube channel and just see what they're live streaming. Like they'll do like Best of Attitude Era, or they had like a 3 to 4 hour deal showing you the whole build towards the 6-man Armageddon Hell in a Cell. So I threw that on in the background one night just as background noise to fall asleep to. Because I sleep better when there's some sort of background noise. So
I tend to wake up in the middle of the night, that background noise playing.
I fall asleep faster if there's background noise for some reason, but I don't know. But that was something interesting that I did see come out today. Also, speaking of, as we talked about earlier, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, did you hear one pitch that was made when it was supposed to be Cody and Drew?
I think so.
So, according to PWU Insider, before they switched everything to Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, people were pitching that Cody and Drew at Mania should be Hell in a Cell. I was like, oh, because everyone's like, oh, you're going to do another Cody Drew match in like within the 4 or 5 month span? Like there was a lot. So I'm like, if you give it Hell in a Cell, at least it's different.
At least, well, Hell in a Cell also ends rivalries, so.
Right. But not to be, because, well, it didn't happen in that match. It's not Drew and Randy. It's probably going to be Drew and Jacob. I would assume Jacob Fat too.
You think that'll be a Hell in a Cell match?
No, not Hell in a Cell, but just the Mania match for Drew.
Yeah.
Which, here's my question.
I would have Jacob win that one.
Oh, I would too. So here's my question for you. They've been doing all this stuff, intertwining Cody and Randy and Jacob and Drew and Sami. What do you do with Sami Zayn at WrestleMania? He's like the odd man out now.
Well, if they had a United States Championship ladder match and you put him in the ladder match.
I was thinking the same thing, and I would have Sami win it. Because you know what I think is going to happen. You have Sami win it, so it's like, oh, Sami got a big title win at WrestleMania. But next year, 2027, Sami's going to get
He's going to win the Rumble and main event.
Yep.
The Mania in Saudi.
Yep. So he like wins the secondary title here, but next year he's winning the big one. I really think they should do it. I really think even if he only holds that title for a couple of months, gets a short reign something, I think the reaction he would get in Saudi at a Mania, oh, there you go. The night 2 main event closing out the whole weekend. So
I thought last year, like when they created the Vision, I thought they were building like Sami Zayn possibly win the Rumble and challenging Seth.
So, man, we can go into a rabbit hole here with that, because when they started the Vision, the actual original plan was Seth versus Roman. Seth and Roman, Seth losing the title to Roman and the Vision kicking Seth out. Well, Seth got hurt and that had to get fast tracked and they kicked Seth out early. Then it was going to be when they put the title on Punk. Like, there's a whole thing. And at that time, too, when it was supposed to be Seth and Roman, they were pitching Cody and Punk. So that was another direction, Cody and Punk for WrestleMania. They only had to put the title on Punk. They were like, oh, Punk's going to have the title. He's got to do something else. Cody's got to do something else. Then they shifted to Cody and Drew. Then they shifted to Punk and Braun Breaker. Plan was going to be for Braun Breaker. You know, Braun Breaker lost to Punk on that first Raw. Breaker was actually at one point pushed as the potential winner of the Royal Rumble and then challenging Punk at Mania. So it's like, oh, you lost the first one, but you work your way back there. You get the second match of Mania, win the title of Mania. But then that didn't happen because Braun Breaker got hurt. Goddamn hernia, flipping the table. Then you need another match. Well, Roman doesn't have anything now. Well, no. No, I take that back. At one point before it was Cody and Drew, Triple H was pitching Cody and Roman. But then realized, yeah, Cody and Roman, third time in 4 years, fans don't want to see that. So then when we switched it to Drew, the whole thing. Like I should do a whole video coming soon of
I feel like
where what Mania looked like 6 months ago and how it's evolved.
I feel like Mania this year is being built like very lackluster, mainly due to injuries, and Triple H was kind of freaking out.
Now, granted, this is all hearsay, rumors, and reports. It's not like anybody's confirmed any of this as far as people within the company. This is all hearsay, rumors, and reports. But yeah, like at one point, it was supposed to be Seth and Braun Breaker after the whole Punk and Roman. They set that up. Then Braun Breaker got hurt. And so then they went, okay, put Bronson Reed in that spot. Seth and Bronson Reed. Then Bronson Reed got hurt. Now it's probably going to be Seth and Logan Paul. And didn't they do that at 39? So that was only a couple of years ago. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Interesting stuff there that we can actually look back at and see what the heck happened. So a lot to digest. But as we go here, we got some bit donations here. First off, Esports Gaming Rules. Subscribed on Twitch for 44 months. Really do appreciate that. 44 months in a row. It says 44 months in a row. Really do appreciate that. He said, what a Raw in Seattle. Yeah, it was a good Raw. I thought the crowd was great. The matches were really good. The segments, for the most part, were all really good. Overall, I enjoyed it, as we said at the top of the show. Esports Gaming Rules also has a bit donation. He says, CM Punk target Roman Reigns. Now CM Punk target the Usos. So will CM Punk target The Rock so The Rock can show up at WrestleMania 42 Vegas to bump ticket sales? No. Here's the thing. Punk, and we'll talk about this later, correct me if I'm wrong here, Punk didn't target the Usos, right? I feel like he didn't target...
The Usos came out because they were pissed off. They targeted like their like family member.
Yeah, they came at him and he just spit facts at him. So I wouldn't say he targeted the Usos. Yeah, he targeted Roman because Roman picked him after winning the Rumble. So it's like everything that you're saying here, Esports Gaming Rules, I'm not saying you're wrong. You're backwards. Roman targeted Punk winning the Rumble. Then Punk said what he said last week. So the Usos targeted Punk because of what he said last week. Rock being involved? Highly doubt it. I highly doubt that Dwayne shows up at all. And I could be wrong here, but I don't think Dwayne The Rock Johnson shows up leading to this year's WrestleMania. I don't think he's going to be involved one bit.
Isn't he still busy filming Jumanji 3?
I know they're currently filming because he posted like a Instagram reel or something of them on set in like a van or an SUV filming. And they were making fun of Kevin Hart. And like you see like the blue screen behind them and stuff. It was just like a day or two ago. Yeah, they're still filming.
Yeah, Kevin Hart posted a reel like making fun of The Rock eating.
That's funny. They were like something about, I think it was something about, and I watched it without the sound though, but I saw like the caption of it where they were all getting into this car and Jack Black and The Rock were in the front seat and then Kevin Hart got in the seat behind Jack Black and Rock says something to the effect of, you don't need no leg room, you short bitch, or something like that. Like, you don't need more leg room or something. Because I think Kevin Hart's like, give me some more leg room. He's like, you don't need more leg room. You short. So, yeah, Rock's busy with Jumanji. And I think, did they ever film that other movie that he lost a bunch of weight for? I would assume because he bulked back up for Jumanji.
Yeah, I believe so. That's probably done being filmed.
Let me see. Rock IMDb. What does he got upcoming? No. that Lizard music movie that he supposedly lost all the weight for is still listed as pre-production on IMDb. That's interesting. Huh. Because if you see the pictures that they posted from the Jumanji filming, like when they did Jumanji now in production filming, and he bulked back up like from the other Jumanji movies. So that's interesting. Then he lost all that weight and then put it back on, and then I guess he's gonna have to lose it again. Unless like he filmed his part already. I don't know. But it says pre-production according to IMDb. And also, he's the only... No, this ain't the right movie. Is it the Lizard Chicken movie or Lizard Music movie? I don't think it is. I thought it was, but that one is a Benny Safdie movie. This is supposed to be... I don't know. Now I'm confused. I thought that was the Martin Scorsese movie he was going to do. All I know is IMDb's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies of his in pre-production. So he's got a bunch. He's got a Hawaii set crime drama, Fast Forever, which we don't know when they're starting to film that, but yeah, that's going to be a good one. The Lizard Chicken, and then another one called Breakthrough. It's an A24 movie. That's interesting. A Darren Aronofsky movie. Ooh, that should be good. Anyways, I'm getting too in the weeds here. Yeah, all that to say, I don't think The Rock's involved. You think The Rock gets involved in Mania, Luke?
No. Well, there is that rumor that for next year's Mania, that was it like Saudis willing to pay like the big bucks for The Rock to wrestle.
So like the Saudi government themselves are willing to pay The Rock more than anybody else has ever been paid to do a wrestling show. Like not even, WWE offer him this. No, they're willing to pay Rock to get him on the show next year. So it's like, is that where you do him and Roman? Roman's not got long left in his contract. Rock's maybe only got one match left. Maybe
you think
both
that'll
of
be
their
like
last
both their,
matches.
retirement matches.
I don't know if it'd be Roman's retirement match per se. Maybe Roman is like Brock Lesnar and comes back for just SummerSlam and Mania every year or something, or just Mania. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, because the way Roman's talking, it's like he might just be done. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if he'd be done. Like now. How old's Roman? 38, 39?
He's not that old.
You think Roman's younger than that? I thought he was older than me. He's 40. He turns 41 this year.
Oh, he's not old.
No, not at all. That's why I'm saying I don't see Roman just being done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a question for you, Luke, from Muscleman85, because I don't have WWE 2K26. He says, what do you guys think of WWE 2K26? Also, what are some stand and deliver matches that could happen? So I'll give you the first half because you have the game. I'm going to say it right now. I don't have WWE 2K26. This is the first WWE game I have not owned since 1998. I just have no interest. After not playing much of last year's game, I just didn't really have much interest in spending at least $70 for this game, if not $150 for the Monday Night War Pack. Hell no. I'll save my money for some other games coming out soon.
One thing I do like, though, is that they brought back the Inferno matches. I thought that was kind of cool. Here's one thing I actually didn't realize, and this is a little trick for anyone who has the game and wants to do Inferno matches. If you play as Aleister Black, one of his comebacks is the fireball. If you use that fireball on your opponent, you automatically win the match.
Oh, that's cool.
Because basically, it's
I get it.
You put the fire on the opponent without tossing them into the fire.
That's a cheat.
It's a good cheat code that many people don't really know.
Yeah.
If you build up his comeback to where he can use the fireball, use it get them stunned first, and then use it on them.
That's actually kind of cool.
That's something I didn't realize. Also, the ringside pass, I freaking hate it. I've seen people post YouTube videos of a hack of trying to complete it quicker. I think it's something if you change some of the sliders where you can beat your opponent in a regular match quick, and you can keep doing that to where you can like build it up, but it's like,
Which you're still grinding.
which is, yeah, it's still, you're still grinding, but it's like, you pay like the big bucks for all the DLC packs. You should automatically get it without having to work for it again.
And here's the thing with that. And I know I don't have the game, so I can't talk too much about it. But it's like in the past, you pay for the top version of the game, whether that's deluxe or the special edition, whatever the the top one is. They always give you the accelerator, which just unlocks everything. But I think even in last year's game, we didn't get the accelerator.
No, because you still had to like grind out through like
Yeah.
my faction to unlock certain things.
Now, granted, when the DLC packs came out, you just got those wrestlers last year, but you didn't unlock everything at the start like you did last year. You had to still grind. I got plenty of guys on my game that I still haven't unlocked for 2K25. And so, yeah.
Same.
And again, that was one of the things that kind of just deterred me. I was just like, oh, like I'll come back and play this every so often, but I'm not going to play it that much. And I think I had heard one rumor that they noticed whenever they put out new My Faction cards, more people than they were expecting were playing and grinding to get those My Faction cards. So that could have led to one of the decisions of, hey, let's do this ringside pass. This is like a battle pass and make people grind it because they're already grinding My Faction. So I don't know. That's just a rumor that I heard. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe, I'll say right now, maybe when it comes out on PC, I'll bootleg it and I'll have it that way. But I just don't have any interest in it and in paying for it. You know what I mean?
Right. And as far as some stand deliver matches that could happen, I could potentially see them doing Joe Henry versus Ethan Page for the NXT Championship as like Ethan Page's like last NXT match.
Honestly, I could see it being Joe Hendry and Ethan Page as well. But I think the other way you go is Ethan Page and Ricky Saints with Ethan Page as the babyface. I think they're going to turn Ethan Page. Because if you watched Vengeance Day this past weekend, he screwed Ricky Saints out of the belt. Kind of. Like Ricky thought he was going to help him, and then he slid the belt over to Joe Hendry, and then it all kind of went to hell in a handbasket for Ricky Saints. I also think they're going to do, if you see what they've been doing, they're going to do, honestly, they might turn, what's his name, Miles Bourne, heel, and have him go against Joe Hendry. Because Joe Hendry kind of took a dig at being deaf. He like made a joke of, sometimes I wish I was deaf. And like Miles Bourne kind of took like exception to that.
Well, Miles Bourne, he's the North American champion. Do you think they do like both belts on the line?
Oh, I didn't think about it like that. Maybe. Ooh, I forgot about
Who's
that one. I forgot about that one.
Who's the Evolved champion that they've been using a lot on NXT?
Jackson Drake in the
They did Jackson
Vanity
Drake
Project.
versus Joe Hendry.
Nah, I wouldn't do it. No, because here's the thing.
Early.
Here's what sucks about NXT. They're over here hyping up last week. They're like, oh, we got the big Evolve Succession show coming up tomorrow night. Jackson Drake will be defending his title against Cappuccino Jones. And then literally on NXT, in a 6-man tag, they pin the Evolve champion, who they kept telling you is going to defend his title tomorrow night. Like, why would you pin the Evolve champion who's defending his title the next night? That's so dumb. Dumb.
Well, right now NXT is kind of full of a lot of guys that people don't really know. And that's kind of what sucks about NXT right now.
Yeah. And then coming out of Vengeance Day, like, it's kind of hard to predict stand and deliver matches. Like, they're going to do something, Ricky and Ethan maybe, and because one thing they have been building up is Ethan, Ricky, Miles, Joe, all of them kind of interconnected in some way. Then I would have thought when they set up JC Jane defending her title against Sol Ruka and Zarya, I was not expecting that to get announced for Houston, Texas in 2 weeks. I thought they were going to announce that for stand and deliver. Nope, that's a Houston, Texas match. So maybe Sol or Zarya beats JC Jane for the title, and then it's Sol and Zarya one-on-one for the title at Stand and Deliver. I could see that. Maybe Zarya beats Sol, and then Sol moves up to the main roster. Zarya stays in NXT as the champion. That's a possibility.
Yeah, I do think Sol's gonna be coming up to the main roster here pretty soon.
I do too.
Same with JC Jane and Fallon Henley.
One thing they need to do is they need to push this goddamn Tony D'Angelo, because Tony D'Angelo looked great at Vengeance Day. Like, Tony D'Angelo looked, he like his, when they were brawling him and Deion Lennox, they were brawling, his hair came out of like the ponytail, the bun thing, and his hair was just down. And he had the big beard. He looked like goddamn Bruiser Brody. And he was throwing around Deion Lennox like a crazy man. He looked awesome. So push Tony D'Angelo to that NXT title. That's something that I
Do you think
want
Tony
to see.
D'Angelo gets called up to the main roster anytime soon? I just feel like, to me, I just feel like Tony D is like one of those guys where he's probably just going to stay in NXT his whole career.
I think there's a better chance now that he gets called up. He's no longer the mobster, gangster, whatever guy. Now he's just a, guy. He doesn't have the stupid gimmick. Like, it wasn't stupid, but it was stupid for main roster, if you know what I mean. I like his new gimmick. It's way better than what he had. He's just like a crazy man, kind of, but he's like a badass. And he needs to keep the hair down. Because with the hair down and the beard, he just looked like wild man that you don't want to mess with. And then other things we can look at, the women's North American title. That's now on Tatum Paxley. Beat Izzy Dame. Maybe you go Blake Monroe because she beat Jada Parker. You go Blake Monroe and Tatum Paxley. But here's the other question. How many matches are we going to get on this Stand and Deliver? 4 or 5 matches? Like, this Vengeance Day show was straight 2 hours. In and out. Like, it was 3 hours technically on Peacock, but that was with the pre-show. Also, here's the other question. We don't know where this show is airing. They've said that Stand and Deliver was like the last Peacock show, but then when they aired Vengeance Day was supposed to be like the last Peacock show, but then when they aired a commercial for Stand and Deliver, like they said, they showed the Stand and Deliver logo, and then it went to like the Peacock little like logo animation thing as well. I don't know if maybe Stand and Deliver is also going to be on Peacock. That another thing we don't know, and nobody kind of knows where that show's going to air. So, yeah, I don't know where they go with Stand and Deliver. I can see a couple of things, but there's a lot that I can't predict. Because NXT's kind of just been a lot of jumbled up, and it's just random. It's been very random the last couple of months, in my opinion. Next one states, this one's from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, will Cody versus Orton change to a multi-man match after all these dislikes in the video when Cody won the WWE Championship and WWE YouTube channel? So, first thing I gotta say about that is, where are all these dislikes coming from? Dislikes are not public on YouTube. You got some sort of wacky Chrome extension that's showing you the dislikes? Because you can't just go to a YouTube video and see the dislikes. So everyone's saying there's all these dislikes. And then there's some bloke on Twitter the other day, on Saturday, saying that he paid like $200 for bots to dislike the video. If that's what you're spending your money on, you need to get a fucking life. Just saying.
Remember, this was like years ago, but like, do you remember when Tony Khan made that like investigation where he came out on Twitter saying like all these like Twitter accounts that are making fun of AEW are all bots paid by WWE?
Yeah. Weird.
And people were like criticizing him, like why the heck made you realize that?
Yeah,
like,
I have no clue.
What made you, like, which comment made you think like, oh, I want to investigate this?
Yeah, that was a weird one. Tony Khan's had some weird ones in his time. I will just say that. But do I think it turns into a multi-man match? Not from what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they want to deliver Cody versus Roman, or Cody versus Randy. That's what they want, with Drew and Jacob being the other match. It's not going to be a multi-man. Everything they've built towards looks like a multi-man, of course, but it's not the route they're going, it seems. So 2 singles matches. Esports Gaming Rule says, going to buy WWE 2K27 or 26 with CM Punk on the cover in the PlayStation Store soon. Cool. He also says, can Tony Khan trust Paramount Skydance and AEW's future, or he's screwed in the future after the completion of the merger with WBD and Paramount Skydance? So there again, everyone keeps asking these questions. What's going to happen with AEW once Paramount and WBD actually merge? We don't know. and it's too early to make any kind of assumptions. Other than we will know Paramount Skydance will own a percentage of AEW. It's a less than 10%, but they will own a percentage of AEW because when they buy everything from Warner Brothers Discovery, they're also buying Warner Brothers Discovery's percentage of AEW, which again, we know is less than 10% because they never had to publicly file anything about owning it. So as of right now, I just don't think there's anything we can really predict because we just don't know. There's too many variables. And in the long run, in the end, the sale could also get nixed by the FCC and not even happen. It probably will. Good chance it does. But there is that slight chance that it doesn't even happen anyways and it doesn't get approved. Then Esports Gaming Rules last one says, when do we see an announcement for the new home of NXT PLEs in which NXT Stand and Deliver St. Louis air? Yeah, that we don't know. I would assume tomorrow they tell us. I would hope. But we don't know where it's going to air. Is it going to stay on Peacock? Is it going to go to YouTube and air for free? I don't know. Are they going to go to Netflix, ESPN Unlimited, the CW app? Who knows? Probably not the CW app because freaking CW won't even put live NASCAR races on the CW app. They'll put the practice qualifying, which you can't watch the races on the CW app. You have to have the CW network, whether that is with your cable provider or an antenna. So it's like if you're somewhere and you just want to load up the CW app to watch the NASCAR race, nope, ain't gonna happen. Same thing with NXT live on Tuesdays. You can't watch it through the app until the next day. Crazy. But get over here and start talking about Monday Night Raw from Seattle.
Yeah, we gotta get to Raw. Like,
so the show opens up. And
I think we have one more bit donation out. Did we talk about it?
Which one?
When from Esports Game Rules, when do we see an announcement for new home of NXT?
That was the one that I just read about. I don't know where it goes, whether that stays on Peacock, YouTube, or something else.
So I'd like for it to stay on Peacock because I mean I still have my Peacock subscription.
I didn't realize I'm now paying $16.99 a month for fucking Peacock. Damn.
I should probably get rid of it once I finish TED 2.
Dude,
like the TED series.
Did you hear how expensive that show is to make? That they probably won't get a third season because of it?
Yeah, they said they're probably not going to keep a third season because of how expensive it is to make.
8 to 10 million an episode because of the CG with the bear. Which, granted, you would think that was a puppet because it looks so freaking. The lighting on that bear and everything is so amazing. It's like I honestly would think it was like some sort of a fucking Jim Henson from puppet. Yeah, no. I'm like, I just finished episode 2 last night. I'm not like binging it or anything, but 2 episodes in. Freaking, all I'm going to say is that first episode, Masturbator.
Oh, that's the first episode, I think.
That's what I'm saying, the Masturbator.
Oh, yeah, when they were like using the school phone to like call that hotline.
Find the Masturbator. Oh, Lord. That was some wild shit. They cancel
senior skip day until they figure out who it is.
The worst part was when they go, we know the person wasn't lurking alone when there was two ways that the jizz shot or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
And who was that actor that kept investigating it? The
guy that was like the superintendent of the school board or whatever.
No, they brought in like someone.
The black guy that was like investigating for the school board or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. I'll find who's responsible for this $5,000. Anyways, I don't want to give too many spoilers or anything.
No, but like, what's that actor's name though?
I don't know, but I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Hold on.
He was from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think, or his voice. Or no.
I can tell you right now. He is.
No, that's not the same guy. But
Peter Mackin. He is from.
Oh, he's the voice of Peter's boss in Family Guy, I think.
Preston Lloyd in Family Guy. He was also in The Orville, which a number of people that have been in the show Ted are also in The Orville.
Are you talking about that space show?
Yeah, the one Seth MacFarlane did. The guy that plays the dad in Ted was in that show. Yeah, no, he's just been in a bunch of random stuff. No, he wasn't in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Nope. Not that I could see, at least. He did an episode of Law and Order last year. He was in Kingdom of Planet of the Apes in 2024. He was in 36 episodes of The Orville. I never got into that show. I watched like episode 1 and was like, eh. Anywho, so the show opens up. We see Penta, actually without a mask, walking into the building. Asuka and Kairi Sane, Obafemi, Rusev, CM Punk. They're all coming into the building here in Seattle. And then we go to a recap of everything that happened last week with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and all of that. And then Adam Pearce is in the ring and basically just says, all right, I got to do the thing. I got to get some business out of the way. Seth Rollins, we need to speak. Get out here now. And so a couple dozen masked men surround the ring. The crowd's chanting, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. They all scamper around before Michael Cole states, we're playing some sort of shell game here. One man then gets in the ring, pulls off the mask, and it's Seth Rollins, his beard all bunched up and crazy from the mask. Pierce is like, well, what are you doing? What are we doing here? What is all this? Pierce also questioned Rollins' recent attacks of the Vision, wondering what happened once Rollins' plan didn't work. If Rollins' plan didn't work out, Pierce reiterated that Rollins is not even cleared to compete and shouldn't even be here. And if the Vision got their hands on him, it'd be the end of Seth Rollins. Logan Paul and Austin Theory came down. They're like, hey, we're still here. We're still the Vision. They wanted to be the ones responsible for Rollins' end. They hit the apron, but then the masked men entered the ring. So it was like 15-on-2. Rollins then put his mask back on, and then they played a shuffleboard, or whatever. They shuffled all around. Well, which one's the real Seth? Which one's the real Seth? Can you find the real Seth? It was silly and goofy. I'm going to tell you that right now. This was goofy. Then Rollins was gone. Just left. LA Knight comes out. Yeah. He attacked Austin Theory. Took out Logan Paul. But then he was overwhelmed. The Usos ran out to save him. Cleared the ring. And 3 babyfaces stood tall. I was a big fan of this opening segment. I thought it was kind of goofy. What'd you think?
It was kind of goofy, I gotta admit.
Yeah, I thought it was just kind of meh. Weird way to open the show. Now, Michael Cole said, no timetable on when we can see Paul Heyman back. Okay. Jackie Redmond caught up with the Usos backstage. They seemed like they were about to leave the arena. They said that they had receipts for the Vision. Jay was super pissed off and hot here. Jimmy was kind of more calm. Redmond then was like, you guys got any comments on what CM Punk said to Roman Reigns last week? And Jay was like, I don't want to comment. I'm ready to go. And Jimmy's like, wait, I do have something to say. And I think we need to say it later on tonight. And they made their way back into the building. They're literally beelining out that building. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy's just like, no, bro. Oos, we need to stay. And so they stayed till the end of the show, which I'm glad they did because that was great. That ending segment was great. Then we had, and I don't have the full time here, but we had this long old gauntlet match to determine the number one contender for AJ Lee in the women's Intercontinental Championship. And it came down to exactly who I expected it to come down to, Bayley. Why? Because AJ Lee has said in coming back to WWE, one of her dream opponents is Bayley. So I thought they would save this for Mania and then we'd get cool build up between AJ and Bayley over a couple of weeks, 5-6 weeks. No, they're doing it next week. Blow the load. Which that means it really is going to be AJ and Becky. So, Lyra Valkyria and Io Sky started things off. Valkyria dropped Sky off the top rope to take control ahead of a break. Sky hit a flapjack as they returned and continued with some strikes. There's a butterfly backbreaker at one point, tornado DDT, high angle fisherman suplex, all leading a 2 count for Io Sky. Sky then countered a Nightwing into a double foot stomp, buzzsaw kick to the head, and over the moonsault to pick up the victory. I want to say that went about 8-9 minutes-ish. Lyra first eliminated. Io advances. Then Raquel Rodriguez comes out next. Rodriguez had control early on. He hit a shoulder tackle and saw Sky take a great looking bump from it. We go to a commercial break. When we come back, Sky hit a Hurricane Rana off the top and followed this up with a missile drop kick. Sky then woke up the crowd by doing her pose. She hit the Meteora and went for a moonsault, but Liv Morgan appeared at ringside to distract her, and Rodriguez knocked her off the top. Stephanie Vakir then ran out to attack Liv, and they fought to the back. Sky then flew off the top rope, and she caught Raquel in a small package and pinned her 1, 2, 3. So there we go. Yet, Io advances again, but Raquel was pissed off and beat her ass. She booted her, kicked her out of the ring, lawn darted her in the ring post, and hit her with the Hana Bomb on the edge of the ring. Out came Ivy Nile. Ivy sprinted down to the ring and just, well, got there, pinned her, bingo. Io eliminated. Crowd did not like that at all. Crowd was not happy that Io got eliminated so easily, so quickly. So it was Ivy Nile and Bayley up next. Bayley made the mistake of checking on Io before entering the ring, so Nile attacked her from behind and had control early on until a break. Bayley fought back afterwards when we returned with a suplex and a diving elbow for a 2. Nile at one point hit an impressive delayed vertical suplex, which got a round of applause from the crowd, but only got a 2 off of it. Nile then hit a superplex and a spinning Uranagi, but Bayley fell out of the ring. Nile went after her, and Bayley drove her into the ring steps. Bayley then hit an elbow drop on the apron and followed it up with the Bayley to belly in the ring for the pin to advance and eliminate Ivy Nile. Then we had the final 2. It's Bayley and Asuka. Asuka comes down with Kairi Sane. Bayley immediately jumps out of the ring with a suicide dive, elbows, forearms Asuka in the face. Michael Cole over here yelling, "Oh my God, Corey! Bayley could have broke her jaw." I'm like, yeah. No. Anyways, despite the dive, Bayley really didn't have too much of control here because, well, Kairi Sane kept causing the distraction. Asuka had control after a break, and it wasn't too much of control because Bayley then kind of countered a couple of moves and hit a sunset flip powerbomb into the bottom turnbuckle for a 2. Asuka applied an ankle lock. But as Bayley got close to the ropes, Asuka dropped into a cradle for a 2. Bayley then applied an ankle leg lock deal of her own, but Asuka got to the ropes to break it. Asuka then hit an elevated knee, and Bayley fought back with a running knee strike for a 2. Asuka then hit a series of strikes, which led to a 2 count. Then Asuka distracted the referee as Kairi Sane could attack. So Kairi Sane could attack Bayley on the outside, but Lyra Valkyria would fly in just out of nowhere. She came charging down that ramp. Boom, front drop kick right to Kairi into the side of the ring. Kairi went hard into that ring. Bayley tried to go for an elbow, but Asuka countered into an Asuka lock. Bayley countered into a cover, and Asuka's shoulders were up. So Bayley picked her up, hit her with a rose plant, and pinned her 1, 2, 3. Looked like kind of a messed up finish, and then they kind of saved it, but yeah, it was fine. Overall, I thought the gauntlet match was very well worked. So we now know that next week in San Antonio, Texas, Bayley will be challenging AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. What'd you think of the damn half-hour gauntlet match, at least?
I think it's kind of cool that Bayley won because it's kind of a callback to like the match, that one match they had for the Divas title on episode of NXT back when Bayley was there.
Let me see, because I have the times for all the individual matches here, but I don't have the time for everything all together. So that one was 6. Whoops. 8 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9. Roughly 33, 34 minutes for the gauntlet match. Not too bad. So moving forward, where was I? Penta. No, I'm way off. Here we go. During the break, Natty cut a promo. She talked shit on Maxine, and Maxine attacked her. Danhausen was then seen backstage. He was with the original El Grande Americano, Chad Gable. The crowd actually cheered when we saw Danhausen on screen. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. More on that later. So he tried to take Americano's mask and said, "Oh, you wear a mask. I should wear a mask. Danhausen mask. Make a lot of money off a Danhausen mask." And Americano's like,
I wonder how much money WWE would make off a Danhausen mask.
I would not doubt that they make one eventually. Apparently, Danhausen merch is selling so well, like very well. Like he's doing big numbers.
I want to see
of
when this
one
guy will
T-shirt.
actually have a match on WWE television.
Bring back the 24/7 title.
Did you also like see a tweet of from like last? I saw it made a tweet last Friday about R-Truth and Damian Priest being a tag team. Someone said like the
number one
bald,
contenders.
yeah.
Fuck. That
Someone
came out of
made
nowhere.
someone made a tweet said like R-Truth and Damian Priest are a great tag team. Like they're both washed now, their prime.
They teamed once together if you don't count the Judgment Day stuff.
Someone made a tweet saying they're both washed and they're looks great as a tag team.
Well, that ain't true. That ain't true at all because Damian Priest still go. Did you see that ambulance match you had with Aleister Black? Oh boy,
Yeah,
that was great.
I mean, I will say he was working through a lot of injuries, so that's why he kind of looked slow for a while.
So the rumor was that he couldn't train in the gym as hard as he usually does, and as a result, you could see he put on a little weight, not muscle weight, but like just weight, because he couldn't weight train as hard, which was the rumor and innuendo. He had something where he couldn't train as hard, so he wasn't putting on more muscle, but he was like I wouldn't say he was getting fat because that's not the case, but you can see, especially in his cheeks, you can see where he was putting on a little weight because he wasn't able to like work out and train because of whatever he was going through. And I don't know what it is. No one has ever reported. They just said he was dealing with something. Anyways. So Danhausen was asking for the mask, and El Grande's like, don't never touch a luchador's mask. And El Grande wanted him to leave him alone so he could focus on his upcoming IC title match. Danhausen was like, I don't appreciate that. Say it, Luke. What does Danhausen tell him?
You are cursed.
You can do the voice way better than me. So he curses old Chad Gable, original El Grande Americano. Penta.
And the result, he didn't compete for the IC title.
Nope. Penta comes out, new IC champion, cuts a strong promo, thanks his family, his friends, the company, the fans, everybody for believing in him. He thanked everyone who was there tonight. He also thanked himself for believing in himself that he could achieve the IC title. The title was not just for him, but it was for everybody. And it was a lesson in, hey, keep fighting for what you want. He represents everybody and all of them, and he's the new IC champion. He wants to make history defending this title all the time. He then fired up and cut his promo in Spanish, and everyone cheered big. Then it was time for the match, but out came El Grande Americano, El Grande Amerikaiser. Oh, Ludwig came out instead of the other Kaiser, which was actually a AAA callback because there was a Reyes de Reyes qualifying match that was supposed to see Kaiser's Americano in the match, but then Kaiser got like something happened to him, so original El Grande took his spot. Well, now they flipped it, and Kaiser Grande took Gable Grande's spot, however you want to say it. So it was like a flip of what they did in AAA. And they're all talking about how, oh, well, Penta's now got to change up his whole plan. He's planning for the other guy. Now he's got a plan for this guy, blah, blah, blah. And, well, we had a really goddamn good match. I thought this match was great. I thought Kaiser and Penta were awesome here. Now, granted, unfortunately, nothing happened early on in the match for the first, 4 or 5 minutes. I have no notes. I'm just like, they worked for a while, and then we went to a break about 5 minutes in. After the break, Penta hit a flipping dive and a flying crossbody for a 2. Americano responded with a spine buster for a 2. Penta hit a super kick, but Americano countered a destroyer into a Finley roll for a 2. Americano came off the middle rope, but Penta caught him with a code breaker and followed up with a Canadian destroyer to pin him. 1, 2, 3. So we had about a 12-ish minute match here. 11, 12 minutes. I don't know, these two worked great together. What'd you think?
I thought the two worked pretty good together. I liked it.
I thought it was a really good first defense for Penta. I hope he holds this title for a little while. Give him a couple months at the belt.
At least till Mania.
Oh, that for sure. That's only a month and a half away. But it's a fresh face with a championship, and that's what we need. New faces holding belts. Esports Gaming Rules.
I feel like recently we kind of had a lot of heels holding belts in WWE recently.
Well, let's see.
I mean, Dominic had the IC title for a while. Jade Cargill, she's now a heel, which that reign's pretty lackluster.
So we've got for the main roster, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 titles on the main roster. 2, 3, 4 are held by heels currently. Like you said, Dom was just the IC champion as a heel. So Becky was just the women's IC champion as a heel. So it's like Drew was just the WWE. So it's like they've in the last 2 weeks they flipped it kind of. It was real heel heavy when Drew was the WWE champion, when Dom was the IC champion, and when Becky was the women's IC champion. So yeah, it was heel heavy just a couple of weeks ago. So you're not wrong there. But we got, Jade's got the women's title, Julia's got the US title, the MFT's got the tag titles, and then the Irresistible Forces, Lash Legend, and Nia have the women's tag titles. Esports Gaming Rules with a bit donation. He says March 10 is Mario Day, and Nintendo showed the final trailer for Super Mario Galaxy movie recently. Now, they did announce, I think it was today, Donald Glover, of all people, is the voice of Yoshi. I did not expect that one.
Yoshi!
I can't wait for that movie. They moved it up 2 days, April 1st now.
That's honestly not that far.
No, it was supposed to come out on my birthday, April 3rd. Now it's coming out April 1st.
I can't wait for the Scary Movie 6 movie to come out.
I want to watch it, but I don't think I'll pay to see it in theaters. I've never been like I've liked the Scary Movie movies. I've never been a huge fan of them though. I did go see over the weekend Hoppers. That movie's pretty damn funny. The new Pixar movie. That was good. I liked that one. We got a Stephanie Vakir pre-tape promo. She talked about Liv Morgan. There were subtitles when she spoke in Spanish. Vakir said that she knew how good Morgan was and how hard she trained, but she hated Morgan's stupid laugh. She said that she was ignorant and didn't know her own skills. Morgan hid behind trashy men and friends that did all the dirty work for her. She says that Morgan claims that Vakir is nothing more than mud nuts, but she was proud to come from the mud. Gonna be with OTM and NXT out the mud? I don't know.
I honestly kind of forgot about OTM.
Well, they've kind of been like gone from NXT and then they're back now. I don't know if one was injured or not, but they were like missing for a while. But they're back. They were at Vengeance Day. They cut a promo about wanting Dark State. So I don't know.
I don't think Dark State's in WWE 2K26, which is kind of surprising.
That is interesting.
I don't think they're even DLC either.
Not that I've seen.
I'm like, geez, like these guys are like tag team champions.
So Stephanie goes on and keeps yammering, and I'm like, I'm not even writing all this down. She kind of just jam. Talk about Mania and blood, sweat, and tears, blah, 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 blah. She says she's going to continue to make history and retain the title at Mania against Liv. They cut to the Judgment Day backstage. Liv's all pissed off about what she just said about her friends and hiding and all that. JD McDonough was there with Raquel Rodriguez, and she told Rodriguez she would help her get. Rodriguez told her she'd help her get back the title. Dom then stormed in and was like, "You seen Finn?" They're like, "No, we haven't." And JD's like, "You want to go look for him?" And then basically Dom was like, "No, I'm gonna go to the ring. I got some things to say." And Liv was like, "You want us to go with you?" He's like, "Yeah, I want y'all to come with me." So this was good. I really enjoyed this. This Judgment Day segment was good. They showed some people. Yeah. They showed some people in the crowd. I didn't know who most of them were. They showed Ernest Jones of the Seattle Seahawks, though. So I was like, oh, there's one guy I've heard of. But Dom enters with Morgan and Rodriguez. Not all the Judgment Day at first. Said he was upset about losing his IC title, and he wants a rematch, and thought that he should still be the champion. And he wasn't, well, because of Finn Balor. Dom said he didn't really want to do this in public, but can't find Finn. Finn's making him do this, calling him out. So Finn, get out here. Finn then comes down to the ring with JD McDonough. Dom asked, where the hell have you been? Dom hoped that Balor was there to tell him, hey, I got you a rematch for the IC title, but that's not what Balor had. Balor said, Dom, you were right. If it weren't for him, Dom would still be the IC champion. For that, Balor was sorry. Balor's just trying to help teach him a lesson. The Judgment Day was a family. They've always had Dom's back. Balor knew that Dom wanted to be the greatest Mysterio of all time, but he had to learn the lesson of fighting your own battles. Balor has been trying to guide him for the last 2 years, but the more he did that, the more he realized Dom's dad was right. Quote, maybe you are just a spoiled little prick. At least I think that's what he said. They bleeped it up, maybe prick or dick or what did he say? They bleeped it.
Probably prick.
Why would they bleep prick is the word thing? I don't know. Anyways, Dom got mad and shoved Finn. Finn turned around and boom, hit him with the Pele kick. Balor then was about to start pummeling Dom when out of nowhere, didn't see this one coming, old JD pulls him off. And yeah, okay, JD pulls him off like, hey, what are you doing? Then it gets worse. JD pulls him off like, hey, what are you doing? Dom tries to sneak attack. Finn counters into a sling blade. Goes to go for the woo drop kick. And old JD takes out Finn with a clothesline. Michael Cole lost it. JD, what are you doing? That's Finn Balor. That's the man that trained you. That's the man that brought you to WWE. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Finn. Nope. They're all beating Finn's ass. Finn's on the ground, and it's 4-on-1. It's Dom. It's Liv. It's Raquel. It's JD all stomping a mud hole on Finn Balor. Dom then calls for the bell hammer. Balor tried to fight back, but Dom clocked him right in the freaking head. McDonough then took Balor and held him against the ropes in the position for the 619 as Dom put the bell hammer in his boot and hit the 619 boot first, belt hammer first, right to the face of Finn Balor. JD then held him down again, and Dom hit a frog splash. McDonough then placed a steel chair over Finn, and Dom hit another frog splash with the steel chair on Finn Balor. So, damn, they really beat the shit out of Finn tonight. Pretty sure this is leading to Finn and Dom WrestleMania. What did you think of all this?
Yeah, it's going to lead to Finn and Dom at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Has to. I think what they should do a match at Mania, have Finn win. Dominic get all pissed off, beats up Finn. Then Finn's like storyline injured. And maybe they do like another match at like Saturday night's main event where Dom wins. And then they finish it off at SummerSlam in Hell in a Cell, where it's like Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic.
Ooh, you gonna push it out that far? I mean, it's not a bad idea. This is kind of a far way to stretch.
That's why you do why you do like Finn Balor's like storyline hurt.
So he comes back as the demon. I get that. That makes sense. I could see it.
Because I don't think they should do a rematch like right away at Backlash.
No.
That's why I do feel like they can do like a second match at like a Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And then they finish it off at SummerSlam.
Backstage, Adam Pearce was with Javon Evans. He commended him for his performance inside Elimination Chamber and said 2026 is your year. Evans says, I ain't going to let you down. Pearce is like, enjoy the week. And Evans goes, enjoy the week? Give me a week off? I'm going to come to work? Week off? Oh, heck yeah, OG, week off. This is weird. It was just like, hey, we got to get Javon on the show somehow. Okay. But then he's approached by Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller. Where Kofi was actually like, hey, Grayson, let me speak to him privately, one-on-one. And Grayson's like, you're telling me to leave? He's like, yeah, let me speak to this kid. So Kingston told Evans, hey, we got off on the wrong foot. Woods is injured, and Offset was out of line. I got offended, and I took it out on you. But the truth was, you remind me of myself. Kingston said he became WWE champion and thought Evans could do the same. Evans just needed the right team behind him. Basically, he asked him to join the Judgment Day, asked him for a handshake and all that, and Evans didn't shake his hand and was just like, I'll think about it. This fool ain't joining the Judgment Day. Heck no. What do you think?
Nah, they ain't joined Judgment Day.
Not at all.
Judgment Day's kind of dying now now that Finn's gone.
I'm not Judgment Day. New Day. Javon. I don't think Javon's joining New Day because basically.
No, he won't.
Kofi asked him to join New Day. All these day groups. Jackie Redmond interviewed Bayley just about going for the IC title next week. Bayley thanked Lyra for the help. She called AJ a legend and said if it wasn't for her, a lot of the women here would not be here. The IC title was one that she's wanted to win since it was created. And Bayley also offered, hey, Lyra, when I win it, I'll give you a shot. Then we had Obafemi versus Rusev. And holy shit, they just beat the shit out of Rusev. They just murdered Rusev here in a 3-minute match. Here's the weird thing. For all the rumors of this guy didn't want to lose to anybody in AEW, he's sure losing to everybody in WWE.
Who?
Rusev. Remember? The rumor was that he was never on TV because they could never agree to what he wanted to do and he would never want to do the job to people or whatever. So, like, Tony would just sit him at home because he didn't want to play nice. Now he's losing to everybody in WWE and doing it. So that tells you right there.
Yeah.
That tells you right there. He didn't respect Tony, but he respects Triple H. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he probably just didn't respect Tony as a boss.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of people came out and said they don't respect Tony.
Yeah.
CM Punk even said it on a podcast saying, it's like, I don't respect Tony as a boss, but I mean, I like him as a human being. I just don't like him as a boss.
Yeah. So as far as this match does go, Obafemi and Rusev. Obafemi was in control until Rusev kicked him off the apron, drove him into the ring post, and hit a spinning wheel kick that drove Femi into the announce table. Rusev hit a Machka kick in the ring, but Femi exploded out of the corner with an uppercut. Femi then followed this up with the Beal and a fall from grace and pinned him 1, 2, 3. There we go. 3-minute match. That was it. It was fine while it lasted.
This could have been a better match. Like, these two could have had an absolute banger.
Give them about 8 minutes and they could have really had a good, fun match. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be more than it was. I'm like, ooh, give these guys 6 to 8 minutes and they'll really show out. It was 3. So, I don't know. Excuse me. So, coming down towards the end of the show here, we have 4 things officially announced for next week's show in San Antonio. The women's IC title will be on the line when AJ Lee defends against Bayley. The original El Grande Americano will take on the other El Grande Americano. Brock Lesnar will appear live, and so will Roman Reigns. Then we got our main event segment. CM Punk comes out, signed some autographs, shook some hands, and got in the ring. Punk said, hey, I like your... he said something about the crowd, and he liked to rile them up, so he's like, how about them Seahawks? So they chanted for the Seahawks. He was wearing a Seahawks-inspired CM Punk T-shirt. Basically, it was a white shirt with Seahawks colors on his logo. So I wonder how much Punk actually liked wearing Seahawks colors. You know him in Chicago. Well, no, he's not a big football guy. I was thinking.
He's a big hockey guy.
Hockey and baseball. He loves the Cubs. He's a big Cubs fan, too.
He loves the Cubs and he loves the Blackhawks.
Yeah, because I was trying to think, ooh, Chicago. But he's not the biggest. Like he said before, he'll follow football, but he's not the biggest football fan. Like he said before, I follow all Chicago sports teams, but yeah. Anyways, Punk admitted that he wasn't sure how the fans would react to him after what he said last week. He thought some of them would be mad at him. Some people were upset with how he acted and how he presented himself, I guess you would say. So one thing in particular, people said he was disrespectful. He knew Roman Reigns never respected him, but Punk would force him to respect him and his position that he holds. Championships were made to find out who the best in the world were. The best go to defend their titles and their championships. This title, in particular, was created because Roman Reigns shunned his championship responsibilities and refused to defend his title. Punk defends his title every week, and he's proud of it. He said, the fans deserve a fighting champion. When Punk defends the title, he levels up the competition. If you face him, you're leveled up physically and verbally. Otherwise, he will leave you in a dumbfounded and slack-jawed state, just like Roman Reigns was last week. Fortunately, Punk, had to lower himself to Roman's level, and it's not something that he likes, and it was on his mind all week. Usos then come out. Jay came out, like we said earlier, red hot and pissed off. Jay was mad and told Punk, you apologize for what you said. Punk asked why Reigns was still sending his goons, his cousins, out here to do the heavy hitting. Jay said they came out on their own. No one told them to do that, but we're telling you to apologize. Jimmy said, it had nothing to do with Roman and everything to do with you just respecting our family. He told Phil that he respects him because he speaks his mind, but he ran his mouth a little too much last week. Jimmy said the Punk called himself the voice of the voiceless, and he could talk trash about Roman Reigns all he wanted, but he disrespected their late uncle, who has no voice to talk back. Jimmy told Punk, apologize. Punk said Jimmy was right. Sika didn't have a voice. Punk wasn't spiritual, but he knew the Usos were. He asked if they believed Sika could hear him now. Jimmy said yes. Punk hoped he could hear this. Punk said he was friends with the Usos, and his relationship with their family goes back way longer than anybody even knows. He respects Sika, but he didn't know him as well as he knew his brother Hoffa. So when I lived in Philadelphia, I would drive to Allentown, Pennsylvania to wrestle for him. He wouldn't say he wrestles for free, as Hoffa would sometimes be generous and give him gas money, food, or a roof over his head if he needed it. But Punk was really paid in knowledge, sitting under the Wild Samoans' learning tree. It was a thrill to sit in the back seat of a pickup truck with Samu and have him drop all that knowledge on him. Everyone in his family showed him respect, except for that one son of a bitch. If the Usos believed that Sika could hear him and see this now, then Sika could also see what a lying, conniving, backstabbing, manipulative, gaslighting, egotistical, narcissistic, plastic politician his son Roman really is. Jay got in Punk's face and reminded him that this wasn't about Roman. Told Punk to apologize, and the fans started chanting, "Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry." And I go, whoa, I did not expect that at all. Punk goes, all right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry Roman treated you too the way he treats you and the rest of your family and the bloodline like garbage for years and never once came out here publicly to apologize to the way he treated you and your family. The ones he says he loves. Punk says he was sorry that Roman despised one of his mentors, Dusty Rhodes, when he called him irrelevant and was someone not on the hook for apologizing. Punk somehow was, though. Roman didn't have to, but I do. He was sorry that Reigns had tricked everyone into thinking that he gave a single damn about any of them or any of this. Because if Reigns did care about any of them or the people or him or this business, Punk would be talking to him right now instead of the young boys that work under him. Punk then shoved the mic into Jay's chest, so Jay shoved him back. Punk was about to return the favor, and Jimmy hit him right in the face with the right hand. Just boom! Took Punk down. Punk kind of sat up in shock as Jimmy and Jay just left the ring pissed off, and that's how the show went off the air. I thought this was great. I thought Punk was good when he was out there by himself, but when the Usos came out and they were back and forth, it was great. I loved it. What'd you think, Luke?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. Like Jay did this perfectly. He was all pissed off, like, you disrespected my family. I want you to apologize.
I figured it out what I was trying to describe Jay as earlier. Jay's really good when he gets emotional.
Oh yeah. Have you seen like his stuff whenever the bloodline was like breaking up and they were like splitting him from Roman? He was like all pissed off. He's like, so this whole time you didn't believe in me? Like that's when Jay like works best, like when he's all like pissed off.
Yeah, no, this was good. I really liked it. And well, that, guys, was a Monday Night Raw. You know what we thought of the show? This way. You know what we thought of the show? Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw as we go and check the polls. As far as the Threads poll does go, 55% liked the show, 36% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. One person says, last week was much better. I don't know about that one. I thought this week was better. Moving forward, as far as the Twitter X poll does go, 66% liked the show, 29% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 81% liked the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. And finally, as far as the live poll does go, 79% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 1% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at PetGear_21, and you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great Monday. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit up a raid really fast.